So, what were you speaking to the Eye about?
Nothing. I just... I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't mean to pry. I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
You want to know if I'm okay?
Yes?
Then how come no one is at all concerned with the fact we can't leave? This isn't my life. Traveling with a Weaver band was supposed to be temporary. For me, at least. There are things I should get back to in Taza. And it's increasingly clear no one has any idea when I will. If ever. So no. I'm not okay.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were feeling this way. You're right.
I am?
The truth is, we don't know how or when we're getting out of here. But if you want to leave, we should have made that more of a priority. Or at least made you feel more heard. So we'll work on it. Promise.
Really? What's the catch?
No catch. Apprentice or full-time weaver, what's important to you is important to all of us.
I don't know what to say. But thanks.
That wasn't exactly the warmest welcome. I'm guessing the Enclave Council isn't your biggest fan right now.
Not a great first impression, but I can bring them around.
Even the Eye. He seemed pretty peeved.
Hey, if I can help his people, he won't have any reason to hate me.
Whatever the Council thinks of you, I'm glad you're trying to help them. I think they could really use it.
Yeah, they don't seem to be in great shape.
Nothing our daring point can't fix.
It might sound callous, but I'm a little disappointed in the Hearthsiders.
They're in worse shape than any of us expected.
They've done so little to repair the wonders that surround them. How can a society once renowned for its genius become so far removed from their own innovations? It makes me question if they were ever as great as we all believe they were, or if it was just...
Some myth to keep Weavers going after the surge.
Exactly. Something for us to believe in, whether or not it was true.
There is probably a mix of truth and legend in our stories of the Enclave. Nothing's black and white. Isn't that always the case in history?
Yes, I suppose this could have been expected, but it's rare we have a chance to confront history in person like this. I'm just not sure what to think anymore.
Bryn, I have to say, I'm a little concerned about you.
Me? Why's that?
I don't think you know what you're getting yourself into with the Enclave Council. You're not just helping them, you're diving headfirst into their political affairs.
Lane, if I can fight an Archon 10 times my size, I can handle a little bureaucracy.
That's exactly my point. I was raised in the midst of political schemes and intrigue. There's always something unsaid or underhanded at play beneath the surface. Just be careful. That's all. One of the greatest tragedies of the Surge is the loss of stories. The Enclave might not be that old, but with so many dead to the Surgeborn, their memories most certainly died with them.
I can understand that.
Oh?
My parents' generation tend to stay quiet around the fire. Whatever stories Khanhanders had were beaten out of us by public lashings and prison camps. And we haven't had time since independence to start telling new ones.
Ah, yes. Bryn of Carnhaven. I almost forgot.
Wait, like what Dom called me? You were listening?
I always am. Habit born of a Udean upbringing, I suppose. But, yes. I suppose the similarities are there, aren't they? A population whittled down by catastrophe. Stories lost. Did you ever have the urge to press a little harder? To try and learn just one or two stories, even if it was painful for the person telling them?
Honestly, in that case, I'm happy to let the past lie. If I didn't want to look forward, I wouldn't have left to join Aaron's Weaver Band. And I wouldn't have ended up here. So I'm here to live new stories, not to dwell on the past.
I understand the drive, but do you think perhaps you might have been running from the grief too? Not to make assumptions, but it can't have been easy growing up in a culture steeped in such loss.
There's joy in freedom. And even though that's what independence promised, I didn't feel like I had that at home.
I understand. The physical chains are gone, but the mental binds remain. Perhaps our presence can help the denizens of the Enclave avoid the same trap.
I hope so. Sev mentioned something about Udea using aerialists, like Taza.
That's true, yes. It was well before my time, but they are not well regarded in our history.
What happened to them?
You're aware Udea had legendary trade fleets that made it the richest federation in the Maida.
Yes, but not since the... Oh.
It turns out when you rely on magic to keep your harbors safe, and magic itself breaks in something like the Surge, there's a price to be paid.
The Hearthsiders look more traumatized than a beast of burden after a hurricane.
What? Why would you say that?
I would think someone who grew up in the wake of war would recognize the signs. Disorganized and unable to triage their own problems. They're overwhelmed. Suspicious of us despite our clear good intentions, suggesting paranoia. And while their leader is in deep denial of the very real crisis the Enclave is in, the others accept it. They've been stewing in turmoil for so long, it's become their new normal. And it's probably more comfortable for them than the prospect of change.
You're right. They do remind me of some veterans back in Carnhaven.
Saw it 1,000 times over while working in Udea. Aurea may not want to hear it, but these people are completely lost in their crisis.
What makes you say that?
Aurea has a case of hero worship when it comes to the Enclave. She can be blinded by it sometimes.
Huh.
It's not to say great things didn't happen here. But at the end of the day, the Hearthsiders aren't gods. They're fallible. Just like us. It's my pick for book club. I can't say it in a love story about a studious mom and an open warrior completely opposite.
How are you settling in, Eric? Things going well?
Good. Yeah, they're fine.
Just good?
No, not really. Something's going on at the Hold, and it's making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The Eye publicly scorched you for opening up Asylum, and yet I've heard him telling the Spindle that this could be a good thing. Meanwhile, the runners are stretched paper thin keeping supplies moving, which, of course, leaves my people no time to deal with actual threats.
Sounds like you could use some help. What's the problem?
Really? Dancing winds, where to start? No, wait, I know. The Spitfires. A particularly aggressive group seems set on spreading through Denevron. In particular, they're building nests in some areas I was hoping to use as training grounds, but we had to pull out due to the risk.
Would the areas be safe if I took care of the nests?
Yes, though the nests are very durable. They will turn brittle if you get them cold enough.
Consider it done. Anything else?
Maybe an odd request. Could you ask Aurea if I could power the scry while you're tackling them?
Why not ask her yourself?
I feel like I have a lot to learn from Aurea and how she works with you. And it's strangely intimidating to admit that to her directly.
She is a force of nature. I get it. I'll ask.
You're seriously telling me Carnhaven is now completely independent from Sansa?
Bryn's parents fought in the...
war? Wow. I guess it makes sense that our history books are a little out of date, but I never imagined so much could change.
Making yourself at home?
Yes. I've always wanted my own ruined fountain. I don't want to presume, but being here is a nice break from all the politics.
And the eye is okay with that?
I convinced him I would be keeping an eye on you. Frankly, I think he's just glad to be rid of me. I ask the kind of questions that make him uncomfortable. You know, tough ones like, how? And why exactly?
Lucky for you, Aurea loves when people ask those questions. Welcome to the camp, Eric. We're glad to have you, and your insight on the Hearthsiders.
You still call us that?
Yeah, but it's more... bitter these days. Surge and all. Maybe together we can fix that.
Let's. Thanks again for offering to talk to Aurea for me. It's genuinely exciting to learn from someone new for once. Our community's pretty insular.
Hi, Aurea. I am here on behalf of Arakim.
That's weirdly formal. Everything all right?
He finds you intimidating. Personally, I don't see it, but I thought I'd be extra polite for his sake.
He does. Good. What does he want?
He's wondering if he could power the scry while I run an errand for him. He's hoping you'll give him tips.
Happily. But feel free to tell him I was a bit scary, to keep him on his toes.
Good news. Ori is absolutely willing to give you pointers on the scry. She joked I should play up her scary side, but honestly, she's an incredible mentor. You'll be fine.
I've coordinated lots of operations from Cassidy's Hold, but I never had much formal training. More self-taught. A chance to learn from someone with decades of experience is an incredible opportunity. I'll be there with you then, when you get close to the nests. They're in the Bastion's Yard and Envoy's Landing in Upper Denevron. You don't mind me hanging out here, do you?
Not at all. Why do you ask?
Cool. Casmin just seems a little dull. getting close now. Watch for the flames. You'll need to freeze the hives. They're spongy and resistant to damage unless you can make them brittle.
That's more like it. Work with the scry.
That should be the last of it. Appreciate the chance to test run your scry.
Things still good with our Spitfire problem?
All handled. You did great out there. But it was quite the experience. Your scry is not at all what I'm used to. It's better, more vibrant. Anyway, sincerely, thank you for your help. If I need more, I'll know to just ask this time.